New World Order, you underestimated the people. You took a gamble and you lost.
Okay, we don't like this. Okay, well then we're going to do this. And that is just how it's going to be.
Evidence brought to light that there is a corrupt officer, or that officer did shoot that kid on purpose.
I don't care how I look, I don't care how I sound, I don't care what the beat is. I just care the message gets across.
What's up, everyone? This is the Tinman with the Resistance. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance. This is my final video regarding the anonymous Op Wagoner, an op that took place a few years ago regarding somebody I know because they were dating my sister, in which this person professed to have done certain things. It was posted publicly. Anonymous wound up getting involved in the matter, and it turned into a big fucking mess where it shouldn't have. And I made it clear from the get-go that I wanted no part of this, that this was between Anonymous and this individual, and that I wanted no part of this, yet for some reason I seem to be drudged in the middle of it, for reasons being that it was regarding people that I know, and because it involved my sister's boyfriend, and I took part in the exchanges, the verbal exchanges, and public verbal exchanges that led to the launching of this campaign by Anonymous. And I want it pointed out pure and clear that, again, I wanted no part of this operation ever. This, for first and most part, should have been a private matter that should have been dealt with privately. And secondly, the professed actions of Thomas Wagoner that Anonymous targeted him for were bullshit, and Anonymous found out that it was bullshit. However, it still rests sour in the mouths of my sister and her boyfriend, and I just want to put it out there that I am sorry for the part I played in this, the verbal exchange that went public. That shouldn't have fucking happened. The matter should have stayed private and to all parties involved. I do apologize. I will not list all names of parties involved, as I do not like putting people on blast. But they know who they are, and I do apologize for the part I wound up playing a privy to that resulted in the launch of the Op Wagoner in the first place. So for that, I do apologize to my sister, her boyfriend, his daughter, and so on and so forth. And I want it also made clear that I never tried to treat Anonymous as my personal army. This was something that Anonymous happened to see and decided to take action on their own. They confronted me, said, "Hey, what the fuck is this? What are you going to do about it?" And I said, I want no fucking part of this. It's a private family matter, and as far as I'm concerned, things he says are bullshit and no basis of truth. And whoever I was talking to said, well, we can't take this lightly. If you're not going to do anything about it, we're going to do something about it. And I said, okay, do you? And I even stated publicly that in a video that I wanted no part of this, I will have no part of this, but yet, being that it does pertain to my family, I am a part of it. So, long story short, again, I apologize for the actions that wound up leading Anonymous to execute this op, and I want it made known that Anonymous did find out that these professed allegations by Thomas were in fact not at all based in reality. Sorry, I'm a little tired, but again, the statements and professed crimes were not based in reality, and Anonymous has found this out and have abandoned their op. Now, there was some follow-up issues regarding Anonymous and my sister directly, and whoever was running the Anon op thing, I again spoke with and resolved the situation. They said that they're willing to let everything go so long as she's not willing to stir up any more trouble. So long as nobody starts any trouble, there won't be any trouble, basically. Which is perfectly fine, you know, that's understandable, that's respectable, you know. Don't start nothing, there won't be nothing. So, on that note, everything is said and done. It is over now. Again, I apologize for my part in this that led to Anonymous wind up becoming involved. This is something that Anonymous should have never had to have gotten involved in, as the allegations that he made were bullshit, and plus it was a private matter. It shouldn't have even been posted on a public forum anyway for Anonymous to even see, let alone have to feel that they need to get in the middle of. So again, I apologize for all of that, and I want to point out to Anonymous that my sister is in fact a good person, and regardless of where she took a stand, you gotta understand she was just trying to defend her family. So please don't begrudge her for that in any regard. But this whole thing has landed credence to an issue that she's already having regarding a CPS custody issue with her children. Now, we all are in agreement that CPS is anything but a good system, oftentimes placing kids in harm's way by taking them away from their families where they shouldn't, and placing them into foster families where oftentimes they are abused and sometimes even killed. And I know Anonymous has gone against CPS on this matter. So I would ask, for the sake of my family, I know Anonymous is not my personal army, but for the sake of the children, my niece and my nephew, I feel that they would be in better hands with my sister than in the foster system with a foster family that could potentially abuse and even kill them. My sister is a good person, and if nothing else, she has been a damn good parent to her kids. She has been trying, constantly doing everything that CPS has wanted her to do, yet is still getting put through the ringer. And despite all her efforts, the children are still in the custody of the father, who, suffice it to say, is not of best character. He drinks, he is very lazy. I don't think he's held a job since he worked at Red Robin freaking nearly a decade ago. And it's because of him that CPS got involved in the first place. So it stands to reason that the kids should be in the care of their mother rather than a neglectful father who got CPS called on them in the first fucking place. Now, I'm not going to go into the dynamics of the case because it's not something I need to get into here, but I would ask that, considering Anonymous is campaigning against CPS and has been for some time, that they would lend a little attention to help my sister get her kids back so that they can be in a safe and stable living environment. You know, that's all I ask. I'm not doing it for me. I'm not doing it for anybody else but the kids. the kids need to be in a stable living environment, and CPS has just been dicking my sister around. She's been doing everything that has been required of her, and she just seems to be getting the short end of the stick, and her worker is a shiesty motherfucker who doesn't seem to want to accept any of the paperwork she turns in. They tell her to do something, and then she does it, and they don't accept the paperwork, which is kind of fucking bizarre. And it's speculated, considering that the father's family member of the father of my niece and nephew actually works at CPS, so it stands to reason there's a level of favoritism going on here. So I would ask that this be something that Anonymous does look into, as they are already looking into CPS for past crimes, as well as the present issue of outside interference and bias favoritism over one party to another. It's not right. It should be fair and equal chance all the way around. And being that there's outside interference on the part of the father, that kind of shifts the odds of favoritism in one direction and makes it anything but a fair fight. So I would ask that any anon out there who's taking part in the operations against CPS look into this. Feel free to leave a comment in the description and connect with me, and I can shoot you a few details privately, it'll point in the right direction. As my sister's name is Sara Kachu, so you could probably look up that case right there. So if you can help out, at least for the sake of the kids, that would be great. Again, I'm not trying to use Anonymous as my personal army here. Never have, never will. But if I see something that I could use some help with, I'm definitely going to ask. In the meantime, this is Tinman with the Resistance. If you're watching this, you are the Resistance.